Good day, mate, and welcome to the Australian Grand Prix on Friday Night Racing. Of course, a part of the RRC franchise, and as you can see, then we're on the formation lap. Of course, qualifying is literally just been completed then. So we're going into the race in just a few moments' time. But before we do so, let me just quickly do the old share the stream kind of jazz, which everyone knows by now that I can't use my phone very well because let's just say that I do struggle with technology, and if anyone knows me, know that I'm working IT. So apparently this is meant to be second nature to me, but it really isn't. It really isn't. As I'm also getting confused now, is I'm meant to put it somewhere. Where am I? Oh, I've got it now. And as you can see, then we just got a grid of 17 cars here tonight. Absolutely fantastic stuff here, and this is going to be a great race around this beautiful Albert Park circuit, which of course is hopefully kind of making up for the unfortunate delay of the actual race, which the actual race weekend, which I gotta say I'm absolutely devastated by. Of course, unfortunately, with all the events going on in the world right now, it's I suppose it's not of course the most important thing in the world, is it? But it's still, what a shame though, isn't it? Really is. And a lot of sports events as well also being delayed. Absolutely disappointing there, isn't it? Anyway, let's go through the grid, shall we? 29 laps around Albert Park here in Melbourne. Of course, won the of course it's a kind of a cornerstone now, isn't it, on the calendar? Australia's been on the calendar since 1996. My goodness me. On pole position is Indigo, I gotta say, and he was looking very good, wasn't he? Alongside him is Jonathan Cox. Third position is Ang, with fourth position Nigel Murphy, and fifth position Droffa 6, Granty 7th, XR 8, Farf in ninth position, with Beerus in 10th. 11th position is Hunter, 12th position is Coming to Get Ya, 13th position is Brandon, Knowlesy in 14th, Stringy 15th, Stead in 16th, and Games is in 17th position. Then tyre strategy, we've got a mix, and we've got Stringy on the hard tyres. He's the only man on the hard tyres. Everyone else is on the medium or the soft compound tyres. The front row is actually on the medium compound tyre, isn't it? Here we go then. We have got 29 laps in of round 9 here at Friday Night Racing. We're almost ready to go then. We're on board then with Games then, as he is just lined up and ready to get racing then. Here we go then. Oh, lovely shot from the Toro Rosso. Jonathan there. You can see he's waiting for those lights, and those green lights are indicating that the track is all clear. We're going to be ready to get going in just a few moments then, as we're waiting for it. There they are then. 3, 4, 5. There's a pause, and it is go, go, go! And a good start from Jonathan, a terrible start from Indigo, because he's already being hampered down into turn 1. Jonathan leads. Indigo is in trouble there. Indigo's in trouble. He's gone wide there. He's gone wide. Angus taking the lead there as they come out. And my goodness me, they're all over the grass already there as they come down into turn 3. Oh, we got Debris. We got Debris then. And who is that? That's a Red Bull. Nigel having a good old lunch there. Indigo is having a terrible start. A appalling start for the Alfa Romeo. Oh, it gets cars all over the show here. Exo has had a flying start up in the 4th position already. Fantastic stuff indeed. Now Murphy in 6th position. Seraph is far first. They come down into turn 6 and they're under the trees. And Farf is in 7th position, but he's lost a bit of the end plate on that on the whatever car he's in. I can't even think at the moment. And look goes up the inside. Angus down in the 3rd position. Jonathan's back up in the lead. And well, going for turn 10. Indigo there is under a lot of pressure. They are going side by side, wheel to wheel, start through the sweeping left-hander. It's a more of a straight. Oh my goodness me, look at them all, they're all in there, all together through the perilous turn 9, and Indigo is in the wall, and the man who's on pole position, who was flying, is in the wall, and so he has gone from safety car has been deployed, pole sitter is down in the back already. My goodness me. Well, what a start then to the Australian Grand Prix. Jonathan then, he's had a good start. Nigel is in the pit set. Nigel had a good old swooping lunge, didn't he, down in turn 3, but he's damaged the car. XR is staying out, and Angus in the pits as well. 5-second penalty for Nigel. We got a lot of cars coming into the pits, and that was an absolutely, that was a cracker of a start, wasn't it? Well, oh, and Nigel there, my goodness me. Knowles got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. A bit slow on the button there, Knowles was. Coming in a bit, so we got a wing change there. We got the tyres, then they've gone to the medium compound tyres they have, and then they should be out now. As Farf is out, Droffa is also out the pits as well. And you can see we've got a lot of pit activity. We have Nigel, Ang, Droffa, Farf, and Granty, Knowlesy, and Indigo all in the pits. And as you can see, car 93 then changing the nose cone there on the Alfa Romeo, and he should be out in just a few moments then. So he's out in a jiffy. And so then so after one lap then really, we've got a safety car already, and that was caused by Indigo's crash in turn 12. Not really sure what happened there, but my goodness me, that was a hefty old whack with the wall, wasn't it? So then we got John, so Exile up 6 positions, brilliant stuff. 6 positions for Beerus, and Hunter up 6 positions as well. Brandon though is up 7 positions. The biggest mover is Games. He was dead last. He is up into a absolutely incredible 8th position there, fantastic stuff. Striggy's up 6 positions as well, and also up 6 is Stead as well. Keeping it steady there, Stead was, and he is up in the points as well. And lovely stuff. Another run board, the British Italian driver Jonathan at the moment, and in the Italian team with the Toro Rosso. Then, as I quickly get the tyres up, that is what we're going to be interested in for the remainder of the race. And then, as we come through turn 12, how long is this safety car going to be out? I reckon it'll be out for another lap or 2 then before we get going again. Then, of course, this street circle is it's semi-permanent, isn't it? Of course, it's more of a park road, isn't it? Which was debuted back in '96. If anyone remembers that year, of course, Williams were dominating that season, weren't they? It was Villeneuve against Hill, and Villeneuve's first race actually was back in '96 as well. He would have won it as well if he didn't go wide in turn 1, and I think it caused his car a bit of damage on the inside, didn't it? And unfortunately, it was spitting out fluid then for the rest of the race, wasn't it? And Hill, Williams was a bit grubby to say the least there. His wing, the white front wing and rear wing was absolutely covered in muck, wasn't it? Anyway, then, so here we go. Then we are not racing yet, and we got no lap beyond the safety car leaf. Then, but I think it's one more lap as the debris has been cleared. Then the marshal have done an absolutely splendid job around here, and they should be going racing in just a few moments. So I'm back on board the leader then. All right, let's take stock, shall we? As we're on that lap 3 then with the safety car already in this session. Jonathan leads, XR second, fantastic. Murphy in 3rd position, Beerus 4th, Hunter in 5th position, Brandon 6th, coming to get you in 7th position. He has been coming to get you as well. He's up and he's done a great job so far in the points then. Games 8, Stringy in 9th, Stead in 10th position, Nigel the first of the pairs in 11th position, then Angus 12th position. We've got Droffer in 13th position, Farf is 14th, and 15th position is Granty. He's on soft tyres, and Knowlesy in 16th position, and the pole sitter Indigo right down in 17th position. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, but to be honest, I gotta say, I don't think I say many people's names right, to be fair. So I think it's Indigo anyway, of course. So hopefully he can light up the track there as well. We're on board with him, and he was the pole sitter, wasn't he? Down a fantastic qualifying session, really impressive Q2, wasn't it? Of course, that was an absolutely blinder lap there for Indigo, but unfortunately, all that has come to nothing then, hasn't it? He's got to do another stop then. He has guaranteed himself another stop then because he stayed with the medium compound tyres, and so Indigo, as you can see, look at this, what's going on there's Knowlesy just on the left hand side of us as well, as they were just starting and stopping them. As you can see, they're trying to get the tyres up to temperature at the moment then, and that's why they're weaving left and right, and it looks like they're having a bit of fun out there. They're really not. They're just trying to get the tyres up to temperature, aren't they? And just make sure they're back in, and that is the beautiful message we like to see. Safety cars in this lap then. Jonathan is now the de facto safety car, so he is the pace car. He will control the pace then in the Toro Rosso then. So no one could overtake until the start finish line, nobody. So of course that is a rule which is of course this was one of the races actually where that rule was evident. If anyone remembers the 99 race where Hakkinen had problems there, didn't he? And of course Irvine couldn't overtake him until the start finish line. I gotta say that was fantastic awareness there from Eddie, because for example, I would have just stormed through there because I would have got very excited there. I would never have been in 2nd position in the race anyway, but I would have got too excited there and overtook and got myself a penalty then. So Irvine went on to win his first race there of his career. He went on to win 4 in total in that season, didn't he? And Jonathan, I think, is gone. He has gone, and we're back racing here in Australia then, as we come through the complete lap 3 then. So hopefully then we can have a lap racing now then. Safety cars in. Bert Martinlander's done his business then. Jonathan leads by almost 9/10 of a second already then. There we go to XR, followed by Murphy. Oh my goodness me, there's a lot of weaving going on. There's Ang and Nigel there is battling away. There's also Stead there. Oh look! And my goodness me, I thought Ang there was going straight into the side of Stead then, and my goodness me, there's a lot of action. There's a lot of going on all over the place. Ang is up to 11th position then. Look who's at. That's Granty there. Oh, giving him a bit of a nudge. Games in coming to get you. The two racing points are side by side. My goodness me, as Games is by then. Oh wow, look at this, they're coming down. Look at this in the turn 6 then. Oh, and Ang has gone straight on then. He's on the grass there and just about keeping it in there. Knowles, he's had a problem then, and That's a car off in the background. Who's that? That's far for the Alfa Romeo, just spinning himself back round. And look at this then, it's a Nosey is the cork in the ball at the moment. It's the Indigo up into 15th position then. Granty is in 14th. Look at the caliber of drivers that we've got. Nosey, Granty, Indigo, Ang, and Farfar at the back of the field at the moment. My goodness me. On board there with the pole there once again, he's in 15th position as it stands at the moment then. Just coming out of turn the perilous turn 12. We're keeping an eye on that battle as well, because Hunter has dropped down into 6th position, and so Brandon's up at the 5th fed. So Brandon's moving us out with the 5th fed. That was a good move out for it. We only caught the end of it there, but through turn 14 now, that's a fantastic effort indeed. That Stringy, then we got Stead there, now we got Nigel, then followed by Droffer as well then. And this is going to get very tasty indeed. We're on board with Nigel then. Nigel, I gotta say, that's a bit of a Jamaican kind of hung with everything, with a big green, black and yellow. I'm loving that. Beautiful stuff there from Nigel, of course, the Flying Dutchman, and he is all over the back of Stead at the moment. Stead is under an almighty amount of pressure. There's the golden hat, the black and golden hat. There's got to go defensive into the Brando turn. Nigel's going on the outside, they're banging wheels. Nigel, wow, Nigel there is just taking no prisoners as well. Stead's gone wide. Nosey might strip. Well, I don't know, possibly. Oh my goodness me, Granty there is going on the inside of Stead. He is up into 14th position. Good stuff indeed there from Granty. Beres has dropped out of 5th position because Brandon is flying through the field on those soft compound tires. Wow, he's like a hot knife through butter at the moment. Beautiful stuff indeed there. We've also got Games there is on the back of Hunter. Hunter is struggling on the medium compound tires at the moment because these soft tires are fired up absolutely splendidly well, haven't they, here in Australia? Good stuff indeed then. Strategy, well, we haven't even touched on that yet, have we? But we might touch on that a bit later. There's 3 DRS zones around here. Of course, this is the 3rd one on the lap then, as Indigo is past Stead. Oh my goodness me, and look at this, and it's Indigo through, Ang is through, and Stead has dropped down to 60th position. He's had a bit of a nightmare lap this one for Stead then, but hopefully he can steady himself and get himself back on the back going, and DRS has been enabled, and it takes it's within 3 laps the DRS gets enabled then after the safety car. All the race starts. So this is on lap 6 is the first time that we were using we're using the DRS then, and of course that is the drag reduction. Oh my goodness me, and Beres and Brandon, oh my god, wow, look at this, oh my gosh, and that's a Haas of Brandon there who is ghosted it. Oh my goodness me, and he's dropped out of 6th position, and Nosey's also passed Indigo, and Nosey there are battling wheel to wheel. Oh, I need to try to go on the outside. Nosey has left the door open side, and look in the background, it's Angus well as they fly through turns. Oh my gosh, and who is that? That's Nosey gone off the track there. I think he's steamed a bit too high there, didn't he? They come out of turn 6 as well. My goodness me, there's all kinds of shenanigans going on here at the moment. It's fast and furious action, and look, there's a Renault being attacked in the Beres. We've also got Games in Brandon also battling away as well as they come into turn, and oh my, oh, we've had contact. Oh, we've had huge contact, and off the track there goes the racing point of coming to get you. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness me. Oh, he came back on the track. Stephen, he should have taken more care there. Angus damaged the car. Stead's damaged the car. We've got Virgil safety car. There's all kinds of stuff. Indigo's retired from the session, as I'm not sure if I think that he's well, Indigo had a horrible race there, isn't he? 7 laps of a lot of pain in that race, wasn't there? My goodness me. Virtual safety car is out at the moment then, is into the pits, then comes Games then. Yeah, I think coming to get you came back on the track then. We've got 2 racing points in the pits then, so they're going to have to queue here. Yeah, coming to get you came back on the track there, and unfortunately that didn't, he came on the track. Flying back on the track there, and probably should have been looking in his mirrors a bit more there, so that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate there for the guy, for the guys behind him there, so that's a shame. As who has that got off? Granty has got off the track, back racing again then. So Granty there, I'm not sure if he was looking down the steering wheel or what there, but he really wasn't going where he needed to be going, was he? Stringy there is now under a lot of pressure then from Nigel, who's back up into 8th position then, and look at him, he's all over the gearbox of Stringy as they fly out of turn 6. Oh my goodness me, then as they flick through the left-hander as well. Oh wow, look at that, there we go, Granty's up the inside. inside. Brilliant. He's past dropper, moved on to the ninth position. Flying stuff there from Grant there. Absolutely splendid. And so Grant up to the ninth position. Good stuff indeed there. And they're starting to, I would say they're starting to spread out slightly, but we're on board with a close battle. We've also got another battle in progress as well between Hunter and Brandon as well. New F1 in the Haas at the moment. We're on board with him. Note he's on the soft compound tires. Hunter's medium tires will come into play in the not too distant future as well. It's got to say 7 laps around here has been absolutely flown by, hasn't it? My goodness me. We've had an absolutely incredible start then to Australia. Beautiful shot here as the games has got a 3-second penalty. Lovely shot here from Brandon. Then as you can see, we're just taking a look at the steering wheel. Look in the background, there's a Red Bull having a good old sniff at the Toro Rosso, but nothing gained at the moment. But Nigel is going to be feeling very happy with this, isn't he? He's going to be feeling very attacking as they go down to the Brundle turn. He's going to go Striggy's defend on the outside. Nigel on the inside. Striggy there really going aggressive and defensive there. But Nigel there is wow. And good break this and going there. Nigel's got out of shape there. Now Grant, he's going to have a look as well as they flick through turn 6. And my goodness me, and look at him. They're all over he's all over the gearbox. And Nigel once again as they come down into turn 6 as well. And I feel got the corners numbers completely mixed up there. But let's not worry about that, shall we? I think that Nigel needs to be more concerned about Grant at the moment. As Grant there is just holding station moment. Stringy's on the hard tire, remember that. We'll keep an eye on that. Later on, Hunter is on the gearbox of Beerus as well as they flick through turn 12. And look at this, this is getting very feisty indeed. And I'm loving this. Knowles has got a 3-second penalty. And so, look, the Deros is that's the third Deros detection. So, but Hunter having a look at not anything quite. My goodness me, he's pushing himself through ground. My goodness me, Grant, he's on the outside. Nigel's back on the inside. And there's contact. Nigel's gone around. And the teammates always come together. And Nigel there, oh gosh, there is Drawford trying to get himself back on the track there, and that's Far flicking through as well. Far ain't got any, Nigel ain't got any damage there. I think that someone's got damage there. I've seen a bit of debris come off then. But Granty moving over to 6th position. Hunter's up in the 4th. Hunter's up in the 4th position with Beerus all over the back as well. Beerus does have DRS. Is he going to go for a lunge? Is he down the Brundle turn? Not quite. Good. Oh, wow. I've got to say, this is an action-packed start to Australia. We've got 20 more laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. I hope you've, I got to say, I hope you've got enough engine reserve then, because I got to say, I got to start to steady myself. Got to start to steady the ship here, haven't I? I'm going to be able to last for another 20 laps around here at the moment. And my goodness me, it's fast and furious, isn't it? Vin Diesel will be proud of this, won't he? As they come up into... oh, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat there. Virtual safety car. Nigel is out of the race. And where is he? He's gone off in turn 5, I think it is. We're on board. Yeah, is it turn 5? We're on board then with a game sense. We're just waiting to see Nigel stricken a Red Bull, and it's right in the middle of the course there. And Games there was, I think, was very lucky to get through there. Well, that would definitely surprise me then. So Nigel's car has been cleared. That's where his Red Bull was stricken. Nigel is the second retirement. We've had 2 big names go already in this race. So Nigel is out, and so is Indigo. Into the pits there comes Jonathan on the medium tyre. So Jonathan is in the pits then. That's a surprise there. I'm wondering if those medium tyres could have gone a little longer then. XR and XR stayed out. Murphy's in the pits there. We expected that. But yeah, Jonathan there is trying to take advantage. So he's on the hard compound tyre, Jonathan is. So he's in and out. And he is ready to shake it all about as well, isn't he? He's coming out the pits then. He's limited. But so I think that that was a good call there for Jonathan there, as out of the pits because Murphy cutting in front of Knowles as well. We're back racing here. Jonathan there, I've got to say, picked an absolutely splendid moment to go in the pits there. Oh, Nigel, I'm sorry, no, it's Granty. Is that Bird is at play? No, it's Granty. He's up in the 5th position and on the outside of the Brundle turn as well. Good stuff indeed then from Granty. Then he is up in the 5th position then after Carlin is there for the field. Beerus is up in the 3rd position. Brandon's all over the back of him as well. Hunter is up in the 2nd position at the moment. Hunter as I think Hunter's having a good race so far. Well, I say he's having a good race. He's having a fantastic race out there, isn't he? Far is having a splendid... Oh, I'm getting by step then. I looked a bit brutal to me then, but sometimes you have to be a bit brutal, don't you? Especially getting around this track, don't you? This might get a bit brutal as well between Beerus and New F1 as well. We're on board with car 22 then coming through turn 12. Yes, it is 12. Oh, we got a ghost there. We got a ghost. We haven't got a ghost. It's XR. XR's a ghost. Oh, my goodness me. That's frightening. gaining, isn't it? And oh dear me, Hunter's leading, Beerus is second, Exile is having problems. What is going on with Exile? Oh my goodness me, a potential race here, winning drives there for Exile has been stolen as the Williams there is, oh dear, I didn't even see him leave the session there. I must have been, unless I was daydreaming, which is almost likely I could have been. Droffer has got by Stead as well. Stead there is mobile chicane at the moment. He's damaged the wing, that's why. So Stead will probably come in the pits then, and we'll see some more pace then from the Haas driver. Brandon there is got a couple of cars behind him now. Jonathan has moved up into 9th position. He is in the pits, Jonathan is. Jonathan is back in the pits. So Jonathan is, oh dear. So Jonathan's in the pits. Why is he in the pits? We're just taking a look now. He's coming out of the pits. Did he have a drive-through? I'm not sure. I wonder if Jonathan had a drive through there, possibly. Nigel's left possession there is very disappointed day for Nigel. Unfortunately, Hunter leads. Second position is Beerus. For third position then is Brandon, but not for much longer. He is going to go the inside. Oh, no, not quite that. As Beerus is keeping on that position at the moment. Then, as we look behind as well, if you can see on the rear of on the mirrors, you might be able to see a Mercedes, a silver arrow in the mirrors there. That's how bad these mirrors are. Beerus again out of shape, and now look at this, Brandon's on the outside as he's going into turn 13. Brilliant, he is past Beerus, he's moved on to second position, and he is away. Has he got the pace to get after Hunter? Hunter's on the medium tires, and here's the 10 laps on this medium tire so far. And Farf is on this XR, it's dropping down, that's such a shame. Indigo's also left the session as well. What a shame. Into the pits there comes new F1, and also Beerus as well, and Beerus on the medium tires. So it's interesting start out there at the moment, isn't it? Stringy there on the hard tires. Exile's back in the session. I think the damage has been done there, but what a shame for Exile. He's in the pits as well. Hopefully Codemasters doesn't screw this up completely. Excuse my language there. I hope Codemasters doesn't damage Exile's race up any more than what it has been. Let's have a look. He's on the medium compound tires. So is that going to get him to the end then? That's a question, isn't it? Which is a question which I should be able to answer, but at the moment Jonathan is over to 7th position, and Brandon's down at 8th, Beerus is 9th, and Nosey has also got in front of his teammate Exo, who's still not in the car just yet, is he? We are going with so this is close battle track at the moment, but Jonathan has just swooped through. He's on the hard tires, Brandon's on the medium tires. I'm loving the strategy diversity out there, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. Then I love a bit of variable in my racing, variety in my racing, and I've got to say there's a lot of variables out there at the moment. Beerus is on, and Brandon's got a problem, has he? As he's slowing down, he is slowing down. There's a problem with the horses there. We're on board with him now then. As he got back at the racing speed, then he looks alright now. Brandon there really struggled there. I'm not sure if he had a gearbox problem or something. He just looked like he had a box of neutrals there. He wasn't on board with him. And yeah, Brandon there really struggling there to get the car up to speed there. Almost caught Beerus out. Beerus is on the back of Jonathan at the moment. Into the pits comes Granty. Granty there, of course, there. Granty's also having to change the nose cone on that number 93 Mercedes as well. Farf is now up into third position. We know Farf likes to come from the back of the field there, and once again then showing some good speed. Murphy is having the fifth position, but Murphy's enjoying himself out there at the moment, isn't he? Jonathan there is moving up to sixth position as well, because Granty is just to come out of the pits now. Beerus is gaining. Is he having a look? No, not quite. Brandon is just ninth position, Games in 10th position, and then Granty's in 10th position. Oh, you lie there. And Beerus is coming through on the inside in the Brandon turn. He has passed Jonathan, and he is up into sixth position. Good stuff indeed there. So Beerus there moving up to sixth position. Jonathan is in seventh position then. Jonathan, the man who was on the front row with Indigo there, the front row guys are on a bit of a mare out there at the moment, aren't they? But it's Jonathan. Oh my goodness me, Jonathan there is feeding the tip. This fight is not done, is it? Beerus gonna go the fence there into turn 9. Well, he does go the fence at all. There used to be a horrible bump there into turn 9, didn't there? It was really unsettled the car, but not so much tonight there. Angus getting very interested in the back of Grant there at the moment as well, in the battle for the final point. Nolte's only 3 seconds back as well, so that could get very fruitful indeed then. Beerus there in the sixth position then, as it stands out. Of course, he's on the softer compound tire. He's on the medium compound tire. Jonathan has gone for the hard tire as well. He had an extra pit stop, Jonathan did, and I'm wondering if that's a drive-through penalty, but is that speed on the safety car? Possibly. I gotta say, that's the only clue I've got, really. I have no idea why he's got a a drive-through penalty. I really need to pay more attention, don't I? Goodness me. Jonathan there, you can see then is Beres there stretching his legs slightly, isn't he? Because he has more purchased in those medium tires there, which he can stretch his legs, so he has much better drive there out of the corners, doesn't he? But Jonathan, I think at the moment there is really keeping tabs very nicely indeed, actually, on the back of Beres. Good stuff indeed. We're about half distance in this race as well. Hunter is... Oh my goodness me! And as I paused there because I wasn't sure what's going on, Angie Grant here also batted away as well. Got virtual safety car, and the games there was facing the wrong way, coming out of turn 2. And look at that! How close was he to the back of Granty? And I think Granty's letting through, I think. Possibly they were fighting just before this virtual safety car come out, and the virtual safety car, of course, is you have to adhere to a delta that, so there's a time on the dashboard. Then you have to stay green, you have to stay positive. If you go in the red there, go into the negative, then of course you will get a drive-through penalty there for speeding under the virtual safety car. So in theory, this doesn't really win or lose you anything, but of course you have to also be on your game as well, because we're waiting for those green flags to come out now, and we'll be back racing. And I think this is our second virtual safety car, on our first. We've had one safety car and 2 virtual safety cars. That's what I was going to say. We're back racing here at Albert Park, and Grant there is going to have another go then, isn't he? We've also got XR, who's all over the back of Games as well. Games there, who's unfortunately damaged the nose cone there on the racing point there, and that's unfortunate for Games, isn't it? Because he was in a points paying position as well up until that point. On board, Grandstand, who's in 10th position, but then Angus just in front of him in 9th position, and Jonathan is at 7/10 of a second in the background as well. Yellow flag is Games there is way off the track there. I've got to say, I thought he was at the beach then. He was so far off the track then, as Hunter leads and is still doing a good job out there. Jonathan's now coming up to the back of Beres once again, and this battle is getting very fruitful indeed then, and so is the second round between Granty and yellow flag in free. Granty's having a look then. I think he was just trying to see what was occurring. Then we've got a yellow flag in second free as Games there just trying to cover the pits. I think he's got a puncture as well, hasn't he? I think he has got a punch there on the racing point. What a shame there for Games there, as I thought he went in the barrier as well. Droffer there is a second there behind far from the world, and Beres there has got Jonathan for company, but I think Angus got Granty for company. Granty's very good company there, but I don't think Angus appreciating the company at the moment, is he? So it's getting very dull over here in Australia there, isn't it? It has been known to rain here in the past. 2010, remember, it rained there in Jensen Button. Twinkle Toes that he is there, called it, came in the pitch, put on the dry compound tyres, and he was the first one on the dry tyres as well. He did absolutely splendid job as well, didn't he? That was absolutely fantastic stuff. Of course, we've had a lot of wet weather around here in qualifying as well. If anyone remembers the 2013 qualifying session where it was abandoning halfway through, we had Q3 on the Sunday. That was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? Of course, Kimi Räikkönen won that race that day as well, and I was dreaming of a Kimi Räikkönen title challenge. How wrong was I? As it was second half of the season, really absolutely dominated, wasn't it, by Seb Vettel, wasn't it, and getting his full for a championship there as well. That feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? This doesn't feel like a long time ago at the moment, does it? Because this is live. It is Granty against Nancy going to turn 1. Granty not really fancy a move at the inside in turn 1, as Droffer is now within DRS of Farf as well, and so Farf is going to have to start to think about getting defensive over, but Droffer is dropping outside the DRS, and so he gets within a second, and then Farf needs to pull away then. Farf there teasing him slightly then at the moment then for the final podium. I'm liking that then. String at the moment is on the hard tires. He's doing a cracking job, Stringy is. All you gotta say, Stringy there, flying under the radar slightly there. He's doing an absolutely splendid job out there at the moment. Jonathan is in half a second now. Beres is now starting to probably going to feel the crunch, isn't he? Both runners are definitely under the caution at the moment. We've only got 2 retirements so far. That is Nigel and Indigo, both out of this race. Then unfortunately, then is the both their races were really marred in a lot of incident there. I love a shot here of Brandon there, but I think he's on his lonesome at the moment there, isn't he? On board then with Grant at the moment, and is Angler looking very squirrelish there, wasn't he, coming out of turn 12? But I suppose if he just got to do that a couple more times. Well, I say a couple more times, another 12 times then. So that's going to be a very that's going to get hard, more difficult, isn't it? With Ang on the medium compound tyre as well then, and he's done 9 laps on those tyres. Anyway, Joffer's in the pits then, and I think what tyres is going to go on then. If he wants to go on the soft tyres, then it's going to be a very he's on the medium tyre, but so the Red Bull team now throwing him on the medium compound tyre. That should be easily getting him to the end there. Good stuff indeed then from the Red Bull team now. Of course, one of the best drilled well drilled mechanics there in the paddock then. Good stuff indeed then. Jonathan there is 4/10 of a second outside of Bears this time. Grant there once again out of it then. And there just about has enough speed there out of down the finish straight, and of course down into the Brundle turn as well. So he's just about keeping Grant at bay, but I feel, is it just a matter of if or a matter of when? That is the question. It will be answered, I feel. I think it might be a matter of when, really. And there's we just in a flash of a Haas there, didn't we? And there he is there. It's Brandon there, who Brandon had a mysterious problem earlier on, didn't he? Where him and Beerus got by, because it looks like he just struggled for pace there, didn't he? Got it to turn 9 there. So the unusual problem there is, look, he like had a box full of neutrals there, didn't he? Hunter leads by 4.1 seconds there from Stringy. Then we got Farf, Murphy, Beerus, Jonathan is really starting to get very interested in the back of that Renault. And we've also got Grant also getting very interested in the second Renault as well. Maybe they should swap cars, as they're very interested in that as well. Oh, Games has got a 3-second penalty as well. Jonathan there just needs to keep to the back. Yeah, the Bears as well. Jonathan on the hard tires until the end then. He doesn't need to stop again, I don't think. That's a wild guess, but I think that's a very good guess. I would bet my house on that, so I might be homeless tomorrow after that guess, but I think that Jonathan does need to go in the pits again. We've also got Grant there, who is very much look at this. Ang is doing a good job actually of defending against both Reynolds are doing a fantastic job, really are actually. They are just about keeping their two protagonists at bay at the moment, but Granty there, this the first time Granty's dancing on the outside and getting just a squeeze, but Granty is having no minute, squeezes his way through there. The door was half ajar. Granty put his foot in the inside, he forced his way through the door, and he is up into 8th position there. The Mercedes driver is on his way then. Good race, and then that was a good ball there, building up there. Good driving from both guys, and getting him a squeeze there. Just enough squeeze. It wasn't after you, sir. Nothing like that at all then. Brilliant stuff, and Granty is up into 8th position. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Jonathan is, we're on board Jonathan then, and he is struggling to keep up with Beerus at the moment. Beerus as Ang, it's got by. Oh my goodness me, and Ang has got by there. It's, that was incredible. Well done, Ang there. I'm not sure if Grant had a problem there. We got a yellow flag instead, I think is pointing the wrong way out. Turn 6, and he's getting very defensive indeed. It's a virtual safety car, speeding in the pits for Stringy. What a shame for Stringy into the pits, because far from that. I wonder if Hunter should have rolled the dice as well, as just on board them and Grant. So in the pits then, so Murphy there staying out, then Hunter then, so Hunter at the moment has done 18 laps on those medium tires. He's trying to get to the soft then. Stringy is on the soft now, 5-second penalty for Stringy. That might cost him the race win. Farf also on the soft tire as well. Beerus in the pits then. Granty is carrying on then. Look at where Granty, where's he going to come out? He comes out, well, Brandon hasn't come in the pits either. We've also got Knowlesy, who's not in the pits, and Beerus in the pits, and so is Farf, so is Ang as well. Exalt there, staying out there as well. So we've got all sorts, and we're back racing. While somebody yapping away about the strategy, we're back racing in this race. Hunter leads by 12 seconds then from Murphy in second position then. Murphy's got half the tyre life, possibly, of Hunter then, so he will be, the Hunter will become the Hunted now. Oh, I love that, it's long. As Stringy is in fourth position then, but Stringy, I would say Stringy would have been in the box seat, so he's on the soft tire, so he's going to be rapid, isn't he? Unfortunately, he's got a 5-second penalty that might come back to order there. Dropper is out just behind Bears, but Bears is on the soft tire, so he's going to be lightning quick as well. We've got a couple of guys on the soft there. Farf on soft, Bears on soft, and Stringy on soft as well. Watch those three drivers absolutely fly. Hunter, his time is down to 10 seconds, and Murphy is really catching him hand over fist at this moment in time, isn't he? Good stuff indeed then from Murphy at the moment, and good stuff indeed then, as Games there is gone up into 14th position there, instead dropping down into 15th position then, as dropping now, starting to pull away. Hunter is in the pits, and the race leader is in the pits. Yellow flag in 2, Ang is gone then, and that is, oh, that's a shunt on the straight there. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Ang out of the race then, now in a bit of a nightmare. Hunter's coming out of the pits now on the soft tires, but look at this then, you can see the undercut there is absolutely almighty, isn't it? Ang is left possession there, that's a nightmare as well. Grant, he's moved up into, no he hasn't, he's still in 6th position, but he's going to go up and under. Hunter has parked his car on the apex, there's Brandon, Hunter and whoever, it's Granty, there he is, it's Granty. A yellow flag in front, Granty, oh, well, there's yellow flags there, yeah, yellow flags there, so he could overtake there. Oh no, I think that was Granty's best opportunity then, because now Hunter is going to pull away, because that is one of the I think those games are just getting on the way then in the racing point as well then. So yeah, Hunter should have the purchase now and should just maybe start to stretch away then in the McLaren there. He's in 5th position at the moment then. So let's see what Hunter can do. What Stringy is 6 seconds off the lead with 10 laps to go. That is more than doable for Stringy, but he then needs to gain a 5-second advantage over Murphy and Jonathan Cox as well. And so it's going to be a very tough ask, isn't it, from Stringy as well. But I've got to say, Stringy has been my driver today so far. It's been absolutely stellar stuff. Angus retired, Nigel and Indigo all out of the race. Grant, he is 5/10 of a second away from Hunter, and he is gaining actually quite quickly. Oh, but and I think that was a braking point, and there's a it's not a racing point, it was a braking point. Far look on the inside of turn 13 then. Droffer there holding his line, lovely. But it's coming. Oh, look at this, going to a tap there into turn 14 then. There's a far I think it's key to get on with it. Stringy set the fast side of the race. He was purple last time around as well. Was the Stringy was where is Farf? Well, he's a long start, Droffer, as you can see there. Well, you couldn't see him, could you? Exile there was just going as well. Remember, Exile, if he didn't get disconnected from this race, could have been having an almighty race. Farf set the fast side of the race. Droffer is defended. Granter is up the outside. He passes Brandon. Brandon is now under all kinds of problems then, as we've also got Droffer and Farf on the outside as well. Stead is left possession. Stead is out of the race, and Farf is up to 9th position. Swoops by Droffer on the outside. Lovely overhead shot as well. Grant is now coming to the back of Brandon as well. Brandon done 9 laps. Yellow flag in sector 1. I think it's for Stead's car. It's just coming out of the pits now in the hard set. So Stead might cause a bit of problems out in turn 1 with there's no one around him, luckily enough. So that car hopefully will just get off the track then. And we should be done with that then. On board with Grant once again, then he's having a very entertaining race, isn't he? Murphy leads by 2.3 seconds at the moment for Jonathan in second there. Stringy is in 3rd position there and is bearing down those guys. So is Hunter in 4th position as well. They need to keep their tires in the window, but at the same time, oh, it's a Grant there down a bit of snap oversteer there. But also at the same time, they need to well, they do need to they need to of course also keep up the pace as well, don't they? So Jonathan is on the hard tire, isn't he? So Jonathan should get to the end now. I wonder if those hard tires might come back with him there. And here's Granty. He's up into 5th position there. A lovely shot there from the Haas, but Granty is up to 5th position, passes Brandon and is on his way then. Droffer is still within a second there from Farf. Farf's next target is actually Beerus, and Beerus' next target is Nosey as well. And here is the battle between 8th and 7th position. Nosey is on the winning side, but Beerus going on the inside. Nosey is on the outside. He's on the medium compound top. Nosey's done 12 laps, the same as Murphy and Jonathan, the two leaders then. So Nosey's tires will probably be second up now in the Williams. And Farf is also bearing down on Nosey as well, as he is on the soft tires as well. So yeah, Nosey might be feeling a bit of the caution later on with Droffer as well. I think Nosey should be able to keep up the points, and that is my bold prediction then for the remainder of this race. But it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? With Farf there very much lightning quick at the moment, isn't he? In the Alfa Romeo, and he is look at that, he's gaining all the way down this straight, isn't he? By hundreds then, and you can see then that those hundreds turn out to temps in the braking zone as well. There is Nosey. We can see his target a second there. Stringy is behind Jonathan. We'll have a look to see what's going to occur there as well. Brandon there is really holding on to the back of Grant at the moment. Now, Brandon doing a good job there. All of a sudden there is, I'm not sure what's happening with Brandon. He seems to have engine cutouts there, isn't it? That's a really interesting problem there from Brandon there. That's a shame there, isn't it? And I think that might have curtailed this race out. I think it'd be a bit further up than what he is at the moment. Far, look at that then. Vilmus in half a lap, second number fast lap race. He gets a bonus point for fast lap. He's up the inside. He's finishing there. Oh, but he's gone wide. And Nosey is going to poke his nose in there as well. You saw the car on the back there, really sliding. And Nosey doing a good job there to correct the slide there in the Rocket Williams there. And Favre is through and up into 8th position. Then good stuff indeed. Then is that Brandon? I think that was Brandon there, slightly out of control there, wasn't he? My goodness me. Here is Stringy then. He is the man on the move at the moment. Well, Favre is the man on the move, but Stringy I think is the second man on the move. And 3-second penalty there for coming to get you. So we're on board Stringy at the moment. And unfortunately, he's got a 5-second penalty. The other thing, otherwise Stringy would be very much in the box seats, I feel. That now he's got another penalty there. Oh, who is off? That's Jonathan who's had an almighty smash there in turn 3. Oh no, turn number 12, and Jonathan is out of the Australian Grand Prix. That is a scary smash there. No safety car though. No safety car, but yeah, he looks like he overcorrected the oversteer there, and he's gone into the scene of the accident. Jonathan is out of the Australian Grand Prix. What a shame now for Jonathan there. Stringy's up in the second position now. That is Brandon. We was on board with Stringy when that happened there, wasn't it? My goodness me, that was a scary incident there for Jonathan, and he is out then of the Australian Grand Prix. What a shame then. Absolutely disappointed as well. As Irene just said, great comms there. Of course, I always have to mention the compliments, don't I? So as Brandon's on the gearbox here of Grant. I've got to say, Brandon's really got some pace all of a sudden, hasn't he? Since being overtaken by Grant, I think he's woken up a bit, hasn't he? In the Haas, good stuff indeed there. Murphy is 3 seconds behind String at the moment, then with Hunter in third position, 2.9 seconds back, but he's starting to bear down as well. But there's only, if my maths eludes me, which it does again, there's only about 5 laps to go in this race then. So Hunter's task is becoming more and more difficult as that goes on. Then he is 4 seconds away from the lead then, but thereabouts then. Well, I'd say it's 6 seconds actually rather than 4. It's now it was completely way off there. Games is up in the 13th position, up to 12th position. Well, I've got 12 cars remaining out of the 17 that started on board Farfen, and I gotta say that was very inch perfect for Farfen. I thought it would have been a quarter cut there, but beautiful stuff there for Farf. He is flying on these soft tires, isn't he? Farf at the moment, he is the speed demon, isn't he? Flying there flying around this Albert Park street circuit. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Absolutely stellar stuff as well. And Brandon's had a problem actually because Brandon's down 2 seconds up. That was the other battle we was looking at there. Games there has stolen the fastest lap, hasn't he? He's pinched it off Farf. Is Farf going to be able to get it back? I'm wondering. It might be difficult now though with those tires at 6 lap owed, but we'll find out. And because I think Farf does still have some pace in that Alfa Romeo. He has DRS. There's a bit of the fender going on for Barris. He's going to go on the inside, not quite then, down in the Brundle turn, and nothing venture, nothing gain there for Farfed. As I feel that it's just a matter of when rather than if. And once again then, oh my goodness me! Wow, look at that! Oh, there's a bit of banging wheels there! Oh my goodness me, there's some elbows out there! Farf is up in the 6th position, he's gone over the grass and he's through! And he's in 6. Good stuff. Farf, I've got to say that was a, well, that was getting very feisty, wasn't it? Yeah, there was I've got to say, a bit of banging wheels there, wasn't there? Found back in the 70s, if I remember, it's Rennie Arnoux and, was it Rennie Arnoux and Gilles Villeneuve? It was a Renault there, wasn't it? I think it was Arnoux in Villeneuve. I've got to say, banging wheels, all kind. That's the kind of racing that we love, wasn't it? Oh, it's a Barris there. I think he was distracted there. Stringy is now 1.3 seconds away from the lead here in Australia. Dropfers all over the back of those as well. Look at the sun there, set. Look at that. That's such a glare in your eyes, isn't it? And Dropfer there is now in DRS range. That is what 3/10 of a second looks like in a Formula 1 car. 9/10 of a second. The gap is between first and second. Then Dropfer then is coming out. Turn 16 then, he has got DRS enabled and he is gaining. No he's not. I'm telling fibs, so I just felt like he was gaining, but he really wasn't. And also there has got a bit of NOS there, hasn't he, in the back of that Williams there. So he's just triggered the button, hasn't it? That NOS is called ERS there, isn't it? The connect sorry, it's not connected anymore. The electric recovery system there. We're going to leave them to B for the minute because this is what we want to see, isn't it? Hunter's only 2.9 seconds off the pace as well. Hunter is going to be there or thereabouts, isn't he? Farf is all over the back of Brandon. My goodness me, Farf is flying out there, isn't he? So is Droff as well. We got some juicy battles out there. I don't know what to watch. Let's watch this one first then, shall we? I think we might see a climax to this one. Possibly. I might be wrong here. 6/10 of a second gap is Murphy. Is now going to be under the caution, isn't he? With the championship rival Jonathan out of this race then is Murphy there. Is he going to be thinking about the championship? That's the question there. Farf is 3/10 of a second behind Brandon there. Farf is flying. He has had a move. He's had a bold move. That's a cracking fantastic move. He is through, and oh, he's in with Brandon. Oh, Brandon didn't have the perch there, and he is up into 5th position. That's actually a fantastic maneuver there from 5. Wow, left it all on the line there. It is all or nothing. Brilliant stuff indeed. Stringy is all over the back of Murphy. Lap 27 out of 29. This is what we want to see then, with 3 laps to go. Who is going to win the Australian Grand Prix? Stringy needs an 8-second advantage at least. Droffer is side by side with Nosey going into turn 1. He is through. He's up into 8th position then, or is he Nosey trying to go up and under, but Droffer, I feel the move is done then. Droffer's also got DRS, and the activation point is back in the exit of turn 14 now before turn 15, and Droffer is through. Good stuff indeed then. We're on board Stringy once again, lovely over the shoulder shot as well. Far from the 5th position. Where can he get? Can he get in front of Grantian over the 4th? Remember, this is also a penalty dependent race as well. Hunter, there he is in the background, and my goodness me, he might be a couple of laps short then, but I'm rubbing my hands there. This is going to be fantastic, it really is then. Brandon there is again there on the coattails of Farfrae being pulled along. Beerus I thought would have been all over the back of all over the back of Brandon, but not quite at the moment then. And the soft tires, I'm wondering if they're starting to lose their edge a bit, because the gap is stabilised at 6 tenths per second. Oh, I say stabilised, 6 tenths. Gap stabilised at 6 tenths per second. My goodness me, I gotta say that's inch perfect racing. Knowles, he is gone. He has crashed. He has crashed in the infamous turn 12, and he's on the inside of turn 12. Knowles is out of the race, unfortunately. Stringy is gaining. Is he gonna have a land in the turn 1? No, the straight is just not quick enough. Hunter is only 1.2 seconds back there. Murphy is defending there for his worth and doesn't know about the penalties. He's up the inside. Stringy takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Fantastic racing there for Stringy. The hard to soft tires have been absolutely stupendous, hasn't it? Beerus is gaining on the back of Brandon as well. Brandon there just parked his car. Absolutely sweet indeed there. And Beerus couldn't get on the outside there, could he? Good stuff indeed then. So Stringy leads there, but he needs an 8-second advantage there, doesn't he? To at least, I think, to get in front of Murphy, of course, there with the penalties that he has accumulated over this race. Hunter, I'm not sure how many has Hunter got a speed in the pit lane? I can't remember. I gotta say, it's getting very close to there, isn't it? Stringy there is. I wonder if Stringy's tightened up slightly, because now as Murphy is still keeping himself in striking. This on board Murphy at the moment, and he's enjoying himself here in Australia here tonight, isn't he? And I'm wondering if he doesn't feel the pressure there, unlike Stringy does. The Stringy there is Stringy there is, of course, there has to pull out and has to be quick. Has to be quick, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll leave that battle, because we got a battle for the lead. We got a free car battle for the lead on the final lap. Then through then to complete the 29th and the last lap here in Australia. What a race then! Stringy, Murphy, Hunter. That's the top 3 in the background. Is Grant is why he's got ringside seats. He's got the best seat in the house. And Hunter needs to make the move, as quickly as possible, because I think this might be a race with a move for Hunter. Murphy is down, probably feeling the pressure. I would say Hunter might have not been feeling the heat too much while he is now. Beerus is now also bringing the heat on Brandon as well in the battle for 6th and 7th position. Then I can't take my eyes off the lead at the moment. Murphy's having a look down into turn 6 under the shadow of the trees, and there's Grant in the background as well. If only we had another 20 more laps around here. I don't think the drivers want that, but I certainly do. As we're going to have a look, then it's Stringy there. Hunter, I thought was going for it. Stringy is really strong there. I think it's a lap too long. My goodness me, look at this. And this is the battle for lead. Stringy there's had to correct there. Halfway through the corner of turn 10 then. Now Murphy is gaining. He is going to go into turn 11 and 12. Wow, look at them all. They disappear in the distance. Yellow flag. Games is out of the race then. Games out of the race on the follow-up. Murphy's having a look there. The Hunter is driving off the pace, and that's a racing point there in the middle of China as they have to take evasive action then. Stringy there is up now. Is this going to be a race to move? Hunter is all or nothing now. Is he going to have a go? Not quite. In the second to last quarter. Now into the final quarter. Stringy out of turn 16. And I think he knows that he hasn't won this race. Look at this then. As Murphy wins Hunter wins the Australian Grand Prix. Murphy second. Granty in third. Stringy in 4th position then. Or is he? Yes, he is. Far 5th, Beerus 6th, Brandon 7th, Droffer in 8th position. In 9th position is XR, and coming to get you will be in 10th position. Hunter wins the Australian Grand Prix there. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Hunter. Brilliant stuff for deep there from Hunter. Absolutely fantastic. 4 seconds he won by in the end, then with Murphy second, granting for Mercedes on a great day today, and they stringing 4th position. Coming to get 5th position is Farfen. Oh my gosh, I gotta say, to be honest, I was just sat down and just relaxing there, as that was absolutely incredible stuff. It really was. That was really, my goodness me. And Hunter, I'm lost for words. Hunter wins the Australian Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there. He kept it the cleanest. Let's take a look to see the final classification, shall we? From the Australian Grand Prix, round 9 of Friday night racing, a part of the RRC. As you can see there, and I'm very happy to be on level 37 now. Gosh, I feel like an experienced campaigner. Hunter from 11th on the grid to win the race then, and look at that, no penalties at all for Hunter. That's what won in the race then today. Brilliant driving. Second position was Murphy in the end there, with Granty in 3rd position. Striggy, amazing driver, unfortunately there, just come up slightly short there with that 8-second penalty. Farf in 5th position, Beerus is in 6th. 7th position then was Brandon. 8th position dropped from 9th is XR. 10th is coming to get you. Those are the final points there as well. I think Games actually also got fast up, so no bonus for fastest up today. Retirements was Games, Knowlesy, Jonathan, Stead, Ang, Nigel and Indigo all retired from the Australian Grand Prix. And the first 3 cars on the grid, the first 4 cars on the grid all retired from the Australian Grand Prix. Shows the qualifying doesn't really mean much around here, does it? My goodness gracious me. And that was an absolutely incredible race. It really was. I really enjoyed that. That was absolutely splendid way to start your weekend here, of course, on Friday night. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely splendid stuff. It really has. Then, and join us in a week's time as we have more Friday night racing. Goodbye.